Hello guys, welcome to She Scores. I'm your host Kayla. This is where we talk all things soccer. So I'm gonna kind of cut today's episode down because I kind of forgot to record on recording day. So I'm currently doing this on editing day. And now I have to record and edit. So my bad. Anyway. We are going to do for this game of the week, we are going to the NWSL. We're doing San Diego versus Utah Royals. And which reminds me, I forgot to grab out my notebook of facts and data I was looking for. Oops. So I was going to do like soccer training, but I didn't do that. Or I did do the training, I just didn't get the video. Let's see. So yeah, game of the week data. So for one, San Diego won that 3-2. You had some of these players' names I do not know. I can tell you for San Diego, you had goals from Maria Sanchez. I think it's Adriana Leon and Gia Corley. I'd actually have to look up these Utah players' names. I'd have to actually look them up. But, and then Utah got the 2 lone goals. Utah were able to tie it up. I think San Diego was up 2-0. And Utah was able to tie it up, but then the game-winning goal from Gia Corley in the 74th minute. So, and we're going to look at all the data, so like possession, shots, shot accuracy, stuff like that. So possession-wise, where is it? So possession went to San Diego 56% to Utah's 44%. So which kind of just means, in a sense, at least by the looks of it, San Diego had most of the ball. On the total shots for both, they did 11 apiece. So that kind of shows, like, I think, like, those numbers are pretty close. It looked like a pretty good, like, decent game there of, like, you know, more, like, evenly having the ball. It just seems like San Diego kind of controlled more of the game, just based off their possession, but they had the same number of shots. Shot accuracy, so like their shots on target. San Diego had 4 shots on target, while Utah had 3. So again, like San Diego, obviously having more of the ball, were able to kind of put more of their shots on target. But they had 7 shots that weren't on target. Well, Utah had 8 shots that weren't on target. So I mean, probably being like for both teams, it's like there didn't look like there was many like saves that needed to be done. Let me see. Yeah, keeper saves, there was only 1 each, so it's pretty much just a, like, you know, either very easy saves, like you can just grab it like out of the air, or it's just there wasn't as much challenge in terms of like save, or in terms of like shots. So it just, again, it shows San Diego is more in control of the game. I would say probably not by like all that much, but yeah. So obviously goals scored, 3 goals to Utah's 2. So obviously San Diego won that one. Expected goals. Oh, okay. Can't really think about. I would say like, okay, yeah. That's. Sorry, my phone went back on me. I was trying to do this on my laptop, but didn't go well. So I don't know so much for expected goals, but Obviously, for head-to-head record, you have San Diego with their 2 wins and Utah with 0 wins, in all-time matches. So which means, means San Diego is most likely to walk out the winner. But again, it is so early in the season to tell that, because some teams, it's like, they start off with like a horrible expansion year and then are just kicking ass the next season. So it kind of all depends. And I mean, especially with like a league like the NWSL, it's like it's growing so much that you just don't know. Let's see. So for total passes, again, San Diego was 465, and then Utah was 370. So again, it's pretty much saying, San Diego was the main one controlling the game. Key passes. I don't really know if there's much like key passes, but it only shows you so much. Okay, I think I need to update this, but let's see. We're gonna kind of look into like defense. So blocks, and San Diego had 3, Utah had 2. Clearances, 18 to San Diego to 19 on Utah. Interception, 6 on San Diego and 9 on Utah. So to me, this shows for at least the defense, even though San Diego was probably controlling a lot of the game, the defense probably was able to take care of majority of the danger into the box and any potential shots. Yes, they let in 3, but to this, it's like they had a majority of it covered. And into the 1 keeper save, that was probably like the one. There was like one time maybe that they had the defense couldn't get it out. And then fouls. 13 San Diego to Utah's 14. So I mean, I don't think this game was probably super chippy. I mean, it says 3 yellow cards to San Diego to Utah's 0. So I mean, I guess maybe San Diego is probably playing a little bit more of, on the front foot, aggressive, get out there. I mean, I think I've seen chippier games. So, I mean, I don't personally think that was super chippy. Okay. Let's see. Offsides. San Diego 2 to Utah 0. So, I mean, the attack was more of a, like, again, San Diego trying to be on the front foot. I think got a little caught up in the trying to be on the front foot of, and not as disciplined in their, too eager, which happens to everyone. And then lastly, corners, 5 to San Diego and 3 to Utah. So again, that is pretty much just showing San Diego was on the front foot the whole time. And at least a majority of the game. I will say that was a good game. I did watch some of the highlights, but I would say for both teams, it kind of showed like San Diego being on the front foot, at least for a majority of it, obviously. And then I think more for San Diego is they probably need, like, especially, not so much for offsides. I think offsides happen to everyone. And so not to mention, I guess kind of tightening up that attack so that you can actually score. You can still score, it's just obviously not going to count. But I think the what San Diego needs to work on is, I guess, kind of keeping that momentum going forward. Like, they did really good in the attack to, get the goals, to get the job done. But obviously, I think the defense got a little lackluster, for better words. Because obviously, they let in the 2 goals and they were up 2-0. Like, it's not impossible to, tie 2-2 for a team. But it does show that, like, a defense is a little lackluster and that, the attack is able to push through easier. Could be due to, like, fatigue at certain stages of the game, it happens. And then for Utah, I think is also, like, their defense, I think, does really good, but there are some, like, I probably have to watch the highlights for this one, but it's more of a, like, watching, again, like, compact your defense at the most important times, especially since they were able to come back from two down to tie the game. I think it's important for them to kind of keep their defense tight and like, their defense is still pretty good, but I think it's just better, like, keeping it tight. And I guess, like, if they come from, like, corner kicks or balls that are, like, lobbed into the box, just kind of keeping, I guess, like, their heads up to make sure that it's not, I guess, because it doesn't seem like obviously the keeper didn't make any sense. I cannot think of better words, guys. This is so bad. I do not know what is wrong with me. I'm probably so tired. But, just like a, more defensive unit. But again, like, obviously not every game is going to shift your way. Sometimes it's like, even how hard, even if you do put in if your team is putting in a really good game, it ain't always gonna go well. And it ain't always gonna, you aren't always gonna come out with a win. Sometimes you learn from losses. So, I also think I remember reading, like, about, like, mistakes being made, like, at the back, I think, for both teams. So it's just something to, like, work on. At least, from someone who I watched the highlights. I didn't get to see the full game. But going forward, we're going to look at, like, different, like, women's soccer games every week. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Now, since I did this on Reinvented, there are places you can find Reinvented and She Scores. So for one, I have my own personal clapper. I use it for like, obviously personal use, but I use it for podcast stuff as well. And then on Instagram, I Reinvented and She Scores. We do post on there, like, the same posting schedule for all social media for Reinvented and She Scores. So yeah. And then I'm on Instagram at KickSK28. And then on TikTok, Reinvented and She Scores. I think it's Pod, because I had to change it when I changed the name over to She Scores. So, but and then I have my own personal TikTok, KickSK28, which I am starting to post more on. I am really trying, guys. I promise to post more on there. So yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you next week with a brand new episode. Peace.